Have you noticed this? The smarter you feel, the less you actually do. You understand everything. You can explain productivity to other people. You give good advice. But when it's time to execute, you stall. Why does intelligence make action harder? And why do the most self-aware people struggle the most? The answer has nothing to do with motivation. It's not discipline either. And it's definitely not because you're lazy. It's something much more subtle than that. Something that makes you feel productive while you're actually avoiding the work. And once you see it, you'll realize you were never stuck. You were just trapped in the wrong loop. You plan your study session. You even feel serious about it. You open Notion, look at your tasks. Maybe you reorganize them a little, color code something, rewrite a goal so it sounds clearer. Then you think, let me just watch one video on how to focus better. So you do, and it's actually helpful. It explains dopamine, talks about deep work, makes sense. So now you're even more prepared. Maybe you can search another method, just to compare, just to optimize. 2 hours pass. Your setup is better. Your knowledge is better. Your intention is still there. But you didn't actually start. You weren't scrolling mindlessly. You were learning, thinking, planning, improving. But you didn't produce anything. And that's the trap smart people fall into. Here's what's actually happening. It's something I call insight dopamine. When you learn something new, your brain rewards you. When you discover a better method, it rewards you. When you optimize your system, it rewards you. And that reward feels productive. Learning feels productive. Planning feels productive. Optimizing feels productive. But none of it equals output. Your brain doesn't reward completion. It rewards novelty. New ideas, new systems, new strategies. That's why watching study hacks the night before an exam feels amazing. But opening the textbook feels heavy. That's why rearranging your timetable feels like progress. But actually, starting the assignment feels uncomfortable. That's why researching the perfect gym routine feels motivating. But doing the first rep feels hard. Insight gives you the feeling of movement, without requiring the discomfort of execution. And here's the uncomfortable part. The smarter you are, the easier it is to live in insight, because you understand faster, you connect ideas more quickly, you enjoy thinking. So the smarter you are, the easier it is to avoid real work. Now here's why intelligence actually makes this worse. Smart people don't just act. They think first. They simulate outcomes. They imagine different approaches. They compare methods. They optimize before they begin. And that sounds like a strength. But in real life, it delays execution. Because instead of starting, you're evaluating. Instead of doing, you're refining. Instead of producing, you're improving the plan. You wait for the best method, the perfect timing, the ideal mental state. But action doesn't require perfection. It requires constraint. And this is the line that changed everything for me. Intelligence without constraints becomes avoidance. If there's no fixed study time, you'll negotiate with yourself. If there's no limited tool, you'll switch apps. If there's no defined output target, you'll work on it without finishing it. If there are too many options, you'll think instead of move. Smart minds love options, but options reduce action. The problem isn't your potential, it's your architecture. So here's the real problem. You didn't fail. You just built the wrong type of system. You built a thinking system, not a doing system. A thinking system looks like this: consume, research, plan, reflect, improve the setup. It feels intelligent, it feels responsible, it feels like progress, but it keeps you in preparation mode. A doing system is different. Fixed time, single task, defined output, visible result, no debate, no optimization, no constant adjustment, just repetition. High performers don't rely on clarity. They rely on constraint. They don't wake up and ask, "Do I feel ready?" They don't redesign their method every week. They remove decisions, For example, study at 7 p.m. daily, no discussion. 45 minutes, no extension, one chapter, not the whole subject, that's it. Simple, and maybe even boring. But boring systems produce exciting results. Thinking systems produce exciting ideas, and here's the part nobody tells you. Now let's be real for a second. You like feeling smart. I do too. You like understanding systems. You like being self-aware. You like knowing the psychology behind things. You like being the person who gets it. You can explain productivity. You can break down habits. You can talk about dopamine loops better than most people. And that feels good. But execution? Execution feels basic, repetitive, unimpressive, almost beneath you. No deep insight, no clever realization, just doing the same thing again and again and again. Your ego prefers analysis over repetition because analysis feels intelligent, repetition feels ordinary. But growth is repetitive. Results don't care how much you understand. They care how many times you showed up. And this is the shift most smart people never make. They stay in understanding mode. They never graduate to execution mode. And until that changes, nothing changes. So how do you fix this? Not with more motivation, with structure, just 3 small shifts. That's it. First, the output before input rule. No consuming productivity content before producing something. Not one video, not one podcast, not one quick tip. Write first, study first, build first, then learn. Because insight feels productive, but output is productive. Second, define output, not time. Most people say, I'll study for 2 hours. That sounds serious, but it's vague. Instead say, I will complete 20 practice questions, or I will write 500 words, or I will finish chapter 3. Output creates clarity. You either did it or you didn't. No gray area. Third, reduce optionality. Fixed study hour, fixed location, fixed tool, same routine daily. Not because it's exciting, but because it removes negotiation. Remove decisions. Reduce intelligence from the equation. Make the system so simple you don't need to think. Because discipline isn't intensity, it's reduced choice. So let's reframe this. You're not inconsistent. You're under-constrained. You don't lack motivation, you lack friction in the right direction. Smart people struggle because they trust their mind too much. They believe understanding is enough. They believe clarity will automatically turn into action. It doesn't. Your mind will always find a smarter way, a better method, a more optimized plan. That's what it does. So don't fight it. Design around it. Build a system that doesn't care how you feel. A system that runs even when you're uninspired, even when you're tired, even when you've watched 5 productivity videos. Tonight, don't redesign your life. Don't download a new app. Don't create a new plan. Just define one output, one clear, visible result. Complete it. No research, no optimization, no one more video. Just repetition. Let's stop feeling productive and start becoming effective. Lock in.